not meant to fly.
Here we go.
Oh, spectacular!
The Air Jordan 1, an iconic sneaker with many colorways and collabs. One, if not the one most recognized sneaker around the world. Many believe that if it wasn't for the Air Jordan 1, the sneaker community itself would not be at where it's at right now. Crazy to think that MJ almost chose Adidas over Nike. Imagine that. Air Jordan by Adidas? Many different colorways and collaborations have then transpired since their original date back in 1985. Hype releases like Jordan 1 Travis Scott, Jordan 1 Off-White, and the infamous Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard. In this special two-part series, we will be taking a look at two very special pairs of Air Jordan 1s. The Air Jordan 1 Chicago from 1985, and a very, very, very special pair of 1985 sample pairs made for the GOAT himself. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Manuel from 99 here. We're here with an OG head, Chris Thomas himself, man, the myth, the legend. We have a lot of stories of how, like, we met, and like, you did some cleaning for me, some shoe stuff that you would do, restorations, and a lot of stuff that you've taught me from sneakers. And I remember, like, back in the day with the Soul Society and all the Facebook groups, and it's just crazy to see, like, how the times have changed, how sneakers a lot have changed. And you have a very special pair of Air Jordans that you're gonna be allowing us to take a look. So thanks for that.
No
and
problem.
I want to ask you, like, how did you get this specific pair?
Funny story. There's a guy in our group. I'm not gonna say his name. It starts with a D and ends with an N. But he had posted a picture of these kind of in the group, and then sent me kind of some on Messenger, and I asked him where he got them, and because he knows I'm an Air Jordan 1 guy, and neglected to tell me. But me and my wife did a little bit of research, blowing the photo up, a little bit of investigation, and we figured out that we actually found them at a pawn shop on Ingersoll. And so and the very next morning, once I figured it out, drove right there next morning and grabbed them from this local pawn shop.
Would you mind saying how much you got them for, or just
I actually got them for $225.
Wow.
So it was a steal.
Yeah, a steal for sure.
So I was not gonna pass it up. So
what was your initial reaction when you saw them when you first got there?
To me, coming from a restorer standpoint, I thought they were beautiful even in their worn state, and I knew that they had huge potential. I knew that I could just, with a little bit of light clean, I can pretty much make them, look 10 times better. So I knew that they were beautiful the minute I see them. So
what did your wife think about it when you guys?
At this point, she's kind of, sneakers just are kind of her thing, so she's kind of used to me. She thinks she likes the one. That's like one of her favorite shoes, and that's just probably because it's one of my favorites. But she loves them. So
Nice.
thinks that they're so, she likes the fact that they're over 30 years old, which is what she really liked. So
That's one of my girlfriends. I think that's one of, like, the sneakerhead, like, the girls' favorite model too. And do you think it's just because like, it's easy to put together, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's such a simple shoe, and it's just simple. It's clean, and you can rock ones with anything pretty much.
I think they're so iconic too, so people automatically know what they are.
Absolutely.
For sure. But I want to get into the shoes and give us a runaround of what you did, how the condition that you got them in, and what you did to make them look a little different. So
let's see here. I do have the original white laces. I did leave those at home, unfortunately, but they came with the original white laces and original black laces, so, which I thought was pretty cool.
And I like how you have them sealed in the bag too.
Yep, I usually kind of do that just to kind of preserve them the best I can. And usually you don't see them with the ankle collars, still pretty much intact, which is pretty good.
Beautiful, for sure. What was the state that they were in when you first got them?
Just primarily they just needed some love. They needed a little bit of leather conditioning. They were really dry, and mostly just dirt. dirty. So I gave them a good washing, gave the midsole a good scrubbing. But I like the vintage yellowing, so I didn't put any
Soul sauce or anything?
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't want to whiten these at all. I just did some soap and water and some scrub a dub it, and I like the little yellowing there, so I left it.
For sure.
But for the most part, they're in really good shape.
Yeah, they're in really good shape. I'm really surprised about this ankle collar right here, and that because I've seen most Jordan 1s how when the first thing you'll notice is that this starts to crack right there.
Absolutely.
So I'm really surprised that hasn't cracked at all.
I know, and I seen that too, and it really threw me for a loop. I'm like, well, the ankle, is really, they are crunchy. I mean, you can hear the crunching, you can feel the crunchiness, but other than that, I mean, the collars are really, really nice. They're really in good shape.
For sure. What I know, there's a lot of people that especially message me about how to clean like an older pair of shoes. What would you say is the best thing to do?
Well, I use, believe it or not, just Angelo's Easy Cleaner, and that's just usually what I use for pretty much all my shoe cleanings. It's not harsh, it doesn't damage the material, and like, especially with these, you don't want to do too much to it because it's already such an older leather. But even like the discoloration and stuff, just that, and then just like a mild leather balm for these really kind of helped out, get that leather, a little bit of moisture, so that it's not so much cracking. But that's what I use on all my shoes, is just the Angelo's Easy Cleaner. Sometimes some Dawn, just some dish soap, just depends, but mostly that.
For sure. What do you think you're going to be doing with this specific pair? Keeping them for sure.
Absolutely. They're my size. They're size 12, which is another plus for me, because I couldn't even believe they're at 12. And you don't really see, obviously you're going to want to, for collectors' purposes, they like to have the size 13 because that's obviously MJ's size. Even though his was 13 and 13 and a half, and his feet were two different sizes. But
there you go, kids.
A little tidbit, FYI. But as for, these are, to me, are my grail. I mean, these are beautiful. I would love to get a pair of breads from 85 if that's possible. Which the same person his name starts with a D, ends with an N. I also had a pair of breads that he stumbled upon in the pawn shop too, but I was unable to get those off him. But
for sure. What do you think? I wanted to ask you about, because I know how like years ago when we first met and everything, the Air Jordan 1 wasn't going for so much as far as like the resale. How do you think that's changed from like years ago? And what do you think about that?
As far as the pricing and stuff going up, I just think that's just the times, the way they're going, and with all the different. Now, me personally, I'm more partial to all the OG colorways. Like, I got respect for the Travis Scott and all that type of stuff, and it's a great shoe, but it's just not my style. I mean, but I feel like it's the little niches that Jordan Brand does to spike up the ones, and I feel like. These are going to be harder and harder to find. So I feel like if you find a pair and they're in decent shape, I think you should hold on to them. People, I don't know, the whole, reselling and dumping them, I think you should keep them. I think you just got to get going up and up and up.
For sure. I wanted to talk to you about the controversial thing is the Nike Air ships. How, how that was. A lot of people say it was the actual shoe that was banned by the NBA.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
How do you see that, and how Nike, took like that opportunity to turn it into marketing?
I feel like Nike seen that and took advantage of it, and more power to them. I mean, I don't think it's a partial. I mean, I don't think it's a full out lie. I mean, it was a shoe that he wore that was black and red. Unfortunately, it was not the one. It was the Airship, but they cashed out on him and what he did in that shoe, and the whole ban situation in the letter, and it didn't specifically say which shoe. It just said a black and red shoe that he wore. A Nike shoe, didn't say which one, but we all know it now that the research is all done and stuff like that. But it just shows you that even though it's not all true, just the stuff that he did and the icon that he is and the goat that he is, that nobody even cares. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, it's MJ. It's what he wore. So I think, and I heard rumors that they are going to come out with the Airship. Correct? Have you heard that? Yeah, I heard it too.
And also another rumor, February 2020, they're supposed to be coming out with these again. What do you think about that?
love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything that's OG1, I love it. And if it's closer to the OG cut, to me, that's great. I heard I think they're going to do the bread too, I believe, right?
Yeah.
OG hybrids, which I'm going to try to secure a pair of those. As long as it's getting close to the shape and everything of these, that's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
They said that, you know how Jordan Brand was doing like I can't remember the name, when they used to retro shoes. It was not, because the newer one for next year is going to be New Beginning. It was remastered. So it was remastered. Now next year it's going to be New Beginning. What do you think about that and how they're trying to make shoes more to like the OG way?
I actually like that. That's my biggest complaint. Anybody that knows me, and we've talked about this, the whole Nike Air, and it's your shoe. How do you not know how to do your own shoe? It's your product. Like it's frustrated me for years how it's this isn't right. Well, you had this done before. No, why can't you do it this way? And I think it's great that they're trying to implement stuff from the original into the new stuff, because that's what you're doing. If you're replicating something, then you need to be on point with it. And I think that's great.
Well, yeah, one thing too is that you mentioned the yellow sole.
Yeah.
A lot of the newer Air Jordan 1s are coming with that midsole. What do you think about that, and how Nike's like taking stuff from like older sneakers and then trying to put them into the new ones?
I'm not a real big fan of aging the midsole. I'm just not a fan of that. I feel like if you buy that shoe, let the shoe age on its own. It's going to do that naturally.
Yeah.
I think faking the process or speeding it up, it's not one of my favorite things. I just rather would just have the shoe, because that's what sets them apart as a new shoe and an old shoe. Because not that you could really tell. I mean, if you know your shoes, you could tell, but I just think let them age on their own. No, I'm not a big fan of the pre-aged look. So
for sure. Well, we're gonna leave you guys with some B-roll. I'm super thankful that you actually took time to come down here, let us see these sneakers, and
absolutely,
for sure. If you want, just one last thing to tell the viewers of something that you would want to let them know, just based on Jordans or something personal.
I'm just saying I'm really coming from somebody that's been doing this for a long time. It's really cool to see something as far as shoes become as big as it is, because it's big, and it's great that we have such a tight knit sneaker group here in Des Moines. It's great. I love Stefan. I love Richard. I mean, we all get along. Justin, Alan. I mean, just the store in itself is it's continues to jump leaps and bounds. So it's great. It's great for the community.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you a lot.
Hey, no problem.
And we're gonna leave you guys with some B-roll. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
All right.
Peace.
So hustle, yeah.